Hi, everybody. I've got a lot to say today. I've got an awful lot to say. I want to read into something quite specific because I think it's going to be kicking around this week. It's been building for a while, but it's really coming out in the system. And to help me, I have permission from a few clients to share their words. So you can see how it's shaping up and presenting in the 3D. Yeah. Without even shuffling any cards, I pull out my two favorite decks at the moment, the shaman cards, and the underlying cards, one card on each deck, just speaks volumes to me. So I'm going to bring those in to build the container for what comes through. So there's an energy system at the moment that is at a standstill, and it feels quite Martian, and it feels frustrating, and it sounds like everything I try and create just gets stymied. So there's this standstill energy at the moment, and it's designed to intensify heat. All right, because we're still in this energy of the return of joy and passion. And how are we going to navigate the return of joy and passion? Well, it might be a 45-degree turn for a lot of people who are used to functioning in a less healthy, less uplifting, less vibrant energy. And we seek change. And how do we get change? Well, we're sent opportunities to create change using this transmutative fire. All right. I thought this was an interesting card. Sacred contract. Interesting. That might link into something I'm going to bring in, actually. And I've had the word covenant kicking around. There's some contract breaking, incinerating at the moment. And under those two cards, I have the medicine wheel and beginner's mind. Beginner's mind is what's going to start coming in when we make this 45-degree shift. It's a real shift of the same old shit that's coming at us, that same old fetid shit. I just need to give a trigger warning. I want to swear like a trooper today because I'm feeling quite Martian, and I'm not struggling to tune into some collective anger here. And it feels like the releasing of some bloody old rage. So I'm going to bring it. Beginner's mind is when we dig deep and find our courage to speak a different language, a different tone, use different words, turn the ship of our journey, turn it off that same old path. Okay. And we got medicine wheel energy. Oh, how beautiful. That's just what we need. I'm going to keep that one close by. Guide me, make sure I don't fuck this up. All right, now then. So today what I want to use is the two shaman decks, and the nearest thing to this energy I can find is my Isis deck. It's the nearest thing to this fiery, kind of Kali-istic, destructive, powerful feminine energy. Oh, lol. Look at all the underlying cards. Restoration. It's restoration. This is Phoenix energy. The rising of the Phoenix. Beautiful, thank you. That is a cracking container. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Right. I'm going to read through some notes that I've made, because I think I'm going to call, unless something else comes in, I think I'm going to call this video The Taming of the Shrew. Because what's rising in the system is the wild shrew. It is the untaming of the wild woman. And it's not about men and women, it's about the give me a word, please. Restricted, constrained, trapped, caged, animal, feminine. It's about that. It's very powerful. Let's just take a minute. Just pull yourself to center. Come right into that heart chakra. And let's come into the solar plexus and let's light that fire up and own that. Because there is a will coming through here, and it is the will to bring us back into healthy, strong, passionate relationships. Bringing all of yourself back into the physical. So we've got Taurus kicking around, and that is the physicality of life. So we've been through this year of looking at intentionality, looking at how we want to rebuild the world. And it's been very spiritual and energetic and high vibing. And now we're bringing it all down into the physical to kind of get into the grunt and the nuts and bolts of how I'm going to change this, how I'm going to carve out my the original will. So the notes I've made for myself, I'm seeing 3 big fields coming in: priorities, imposter, and fake. Priorities, what do I want? What don't I want? What will I tolerate? What won't I tolerate? Imposter, my narrative doesn't match what I'm actually doing and manifesting. And the fake, where I shut down my voice to make you comfortable in the world. So they're the 3 things that I'm really noticing in the field at the moment. And so recently a sentence came in. It was for me, but it was during a client session. I think it was for this video. And it was, the shape of things to come is not up to you. It's up to your parents. This is where I'm getting the word covenant. This is what's getting broken. This is ancestral karma is being broken to turn the wheel, to move the story forward. All right. So I've kind of mixed together the client notes. I'm not going to tell you anything about the clients, obviously. So when random words come out during client sessions, I use them to build a systemic field, to maybe sometimes put them in a room together and see what it does to the energy, because I work systemically and somatically with the energy and how that responds in the body, how that resounds in the body. And to see where the conflict is and where there is opportunity for resolution in these 2 fields, because they're just words. Well, they're just words, Chrissy. Yeah, they're just words. Why do they have such an impact then if they're just words? Because they have a resonant field and they will hook into certain timelines and events, certain karmic points within the DNA. Okay, and they will activate or trigger. Recently, 2 amazing words that came out during a client session were ugly and madness. And I invited the client to to give me a word that describes ugly madness. Medusa came out. Britney Spears came out. I can smell the fake on me. It repulses me. Came out. It's the fear and the constant constraint of our ugly. What's happening in your body now? Because I can feel my Kali rising just on those 3 sentences. It's the ability to unhinge on a whim, to devour the world with one big gulp and sit there as if I'd done nothing with spots of blood on my face. I'm all of that in a pointy hat. Now what's happening in your body? Because my whole body is tingling. Seriously, from my toes to my head, my whole body is coming alive. It's the ability to unhinge on a whim. Fuck you. To devour the world with one big gulp and then sit there with spots of blood on my face as if I'd done nothing. I'm all of that in a pointy hat. So I went to a party at the weekend with real people in real proximity. And the subject of Britney Spears came up. And I've only kind of heard the punchline of this, something about she's suing her dad. But the story came up and it came out. And they were all kind of having a giggle about it and being shocked about it and cussing at the dad and what of this he is and what of that he is. And it all went kind of quiet and I said, just one bullet. And everybody turned to look at me. And somebody said, you're a bit scary. I went, yeah. Just one bullet. And a bullet can be a word. A bullet can be an action. A bullet can be a refusal to allow your father to manage your fertility. What the fuck is that? And then in another session, the client was describing something called psychic and emotional burnout. I know some of you people in the field know this. I know healers in the field who know this. Psychic and emotional burnout. So we start feeling into that system to find where the point is between I've got this and I'm doing it, and then and people come to me with straws to feed. And I said, I love that you've asked that question, because generally when we ask a question like that, we already know the answer. So we just keep digging and we keep digging. And the client says, the client describes what it's like to be in rooms with people and small talk and that shallow pond skater stuff. It's like I've walked into a room of dead people and I have to be a dead person just to be there. And that's the answer. The answer is within. I shine too brightly. What are your words, I ask? Fire, passion, courage, creativity, energy changes, voice comes right up and right out. Client gets bigger, sits up straight, totally different. I shine too brightly for others, and this is the blind spot. So let me clarify that. I'm coming back to this covenant of right behavior, this covenant of be nice, this covenant of try not to be a misfit in the world. Don't be difficult. That was my label when I worked in the corporate world. My label was difficult. Try not to see straight through these bullshit systems of illusion and call us out on it. Don't make us look stupid. And so there's a moment where you're in power and where you're out of power and adapting and turning your light down. Okay. There's a point, and it's that quick, where you sell out or you stay pointing true north and you take action in that moment. The action can be as simple as walk away. The action can be as simple as deal with it. That's my truth. Deal with it. So this is the untamed shrew. This is the wild woman coming back saying, I told you all along and nobody listened. I warned you this would happen. Nobody listened. You shut me up. You caged me. There is a beautiful, beautiful, passionate, sexy rage that's in the field at the moment. And my message to the clients who allowed me to share these words is, you are bloody heroic. And I did a little audit, and all of my clients at the moment are heroic. They are bringing heroic. Doesn't look like that, doesn't feel like that. No. No. Feels like shit. But for anybody to do this level of soul exploration, soul growth work, takes some serious courage. It's heroic work. So, from my heart to yours, clients, booyah, bring your heroic. Bring that mad Medusa. Turn your light up bright. I shared a story with the client who knows they are too bright for the masses. And it's okay to be too bright. We're moving in, we're growing light. And what are we going to do with that? We've worked so hard to grow our inner light. We're going to turn it down. What are you turning it down for? You look all the work that you did, nutter. And 100 years ago, on a different timeline, I was talking to one of my guides in meditation about, I turned my light down and they still don't. It was that kind of energy. What do I do? Because nobody can meet me. And really, that's my MO. It's been my MO most of my life that people can't meet me because I'm too much. I have amazing clarity. I can see straight through the illusion. People, I'm literally, a few years ago, I had this spate of clients who used to say, don't look at me, please. I am a soul piercer. Doing. And I said to my guide, how do I navigate this? And the voice that came back was so beautiful. It was a masculine voice. It was so beautiful. And it said, turn your light up, blind them. Not sure I've ever fully stepped into that, but it's there. Right, people, let's pull some cards. Having set the container for the releasing of the wild shrew, the impolite self, the jarring self, the dissonant self, the how do I express my rage self, the challenging self, the difficult self, the wild self. Okay, that's what came out in that. Woohoo! Oh, wow. The last time I used this deck on this channel, we got this card. And here it is again. The Divine Solar Child Reborn. And we're in this space of the return of joy and passion. But if there isn't space in the belly, and there isn't because it's full of rage, then how can we embody and imbibe this new joy and passion energy? So every time a child's voice was shut down, every time a child was corrected, made to feel silly, made to adapt, to fit in, every time they squashed their misfit and their mystic, that gets stored in the body. That disables the sacral chakra, which is passionate creativity, sexual passion. That's the wild fire that gets put out, squashed and squashed and squashed and squashed until it just becomes this heavy ball of energy. And now what's happening, there's a lot of base chakra energy in the field. It's the breaking of the foundation. So we broke the foundation last year spiritually by questioning the paradigms that have enslaved the freedom of creativity. Now we're bringing it into the physical. So it's going to pneumatic drill is the only vision I keep getting. Taking a pneumatic drill to the base chakra to shatter the old foundation of adapting to others, adapting your behavior to make other people comfortable, safe, whatever, add the words. We're in such full moon energy still. And Capricorn, tropical, Sag, true sidereal. And it feels vast. It feels like this energy, the challenging of the sacred almost, or what has been dressed up to look like it's sacred. Deference to the parent, deference to the system, deference to religion and parents, education, politics. Yeah. I want to read the first paragraph of the Lunar Queen. Just go and grab yourselves coffee. And a sandwich. Okay, we're ready. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstration. Ooh. You are asked to allow this replenishment of yourself now. Life restored. Trusting that you are in a cycle of creation and recreation of the self, I might add, that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. Now, control and forcing is actually the adapted child. When we're in adapted child mode, we are controlling our behavior and forcing fake. Forcing fake. The stench of fake is on me, it is repulsive, said the client. Powerful. I think I was speaking recently. Oh, it's when I did the podcast and I was talking into small talk. And I'm a nightmare. I can't do small talk. I'd rather sit in silence. Just inane babble. I can't. I have just no energy for it. Wow and wow and wow. Yeah, I'm just soaking up some Merkaba energy here. Gosh. Chariot of Ascension, spiritual work of the highest initiate. We are being initiated into, give me that again, please. Pointed fire, into seeing life through the eyes of pointed fire. It is not enough for us to remain small in order to fit in. We must shake the container and rattle the gates loose. Oh my God. I love that. We must shake the container and rattle the gates loose. Yeah, we damn well must. I'm going to read from the book on this, but what I'm getting is where we're tied, and what I'm getting is where we're bound. And again, I've got ancestor coming in here, and I was talking about ancestral shame recently, and breaking away from that parental patterning can trigger an energy that Liz Gilbert calls ancestral shaming, and so a healthy narrative to our ancestors might be something like, thank you for all you have done. Now I'm going to take us in a different direction because I refuse to live within the paradigm of what's been taught to me. And a simple but huge paradigm is be nice. That's so destructive. That's where you learn to be a liar. Be nice, be kind. Can't always be kind because sometimes you're battling fucking demons. You know, someone left me a comment on one of my videos, a bloody soul sucker, and I gave it back. And normally, up to today, I'd be nice and kind. No more. No more. Yeah, I'm being reminded. I think I spoke about, I've had the word ferocity going like a little bird, like a little canary just going around and around my head. Ferocity. I think this might be the ferocity video that I've been threatening to make. It's about the return of ferocity. And I'm curious how this is going to show up in men. I know how it's going to show up in women because I'm seeing it. It's coming through the field. Let's just see what the buckle of the beloved is. Indeed, no, not of Isis. Okay. Yeah, but I'm curious if there's any blokes watching these videos. Dear blokes, please write and tell me, how's it going to show up? What does it look like if a man expresses rage? What does it look like if a man expresses ferocity? Energetics, let me hold this up. Energetic stabilization with the buckle of the beloved. Each initiate has their own unique spiritual blueprint with particular skills, talents, and higher destinies unfolding that use their unique attributes. Part of your spiritual blueprint is a special relationship to the energies of the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to her. That makes sense. Deepening your connection to, I think I used the words original Gaia the other day. Goddess energy, she who knows, without being bound to the paradigms that keep you Nice. Sorry, I went away somewhere there. I was just seeing wild women dancing round a fire with drums of hair on fire. It was absolutely glorious. What if a sacred practice could be something like, I said no and I mean no. What if a sacred practice could be, I know that you don't like what I'm saying. What does that say about you? What if a sacred practice is learning to speak in a different way that engages that power, that engages that inner feminine power? Bold and daring, joy and passion. Do we not need bold and daring to harness and walk in the shoes of joy and passion? You know, to really harness the energy of joy and passion, there has to be a kind of abandonment. I abandon the part of myself that conforms. I abandon the part of myself that keeps it tidy. To be unique is to be the misfit. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. To be unique is to be the misfit. How many times have you heard a friend or relative or colleague say, I'm like a square peg in a round hole. So be a square peg in a round hole. What's that like? It's lonely. There you go. That's why we avoid it. Yeah, it's lonely. So you step into it and own it and vibrate at that frequency. And guess what? Woof, soul family. They come in. It's the sacrifice of being unique. You have to let go of the dead people. I don't care if I'm being disrespectful. I don't care. I don't care. It's people's choice to not wake up and be alive and not breathe deeply right into their belly. That's people's choice. I respect that. I just won't be a part of it. I'm too alive. I notice I don't ask many questions in my readings. I just kind of let cards fall out. And I wonder if I should. I heard that should. I wonder if it might be a more poignant reading if I were to ask questions. Yeah, what was I just talking about? I can't be with the dead people. So to the client who said that, neither can I. I feel you. Right. Eagle and the arrow. Big picture, all right? So if we have transformed enough that we can start seeing big pictures, so we know when we're being small and we know when we're being expanded and looking at the big system, have we got the courage it takes to truly pull that arrow back? And let it loose with the spirit of a higher initiate. Because if we're stepping into initiation of the misfit self, then yeah, we need the arrow. We need the pointed focus of the arrow. So what if the sacred and magic ritual was, where does my arrow want to go? They're asking me questions now. Or is it about, is my arrow pointing north? Am I at my true north? Or did I just capitulate to that? And if I'm really present in that moment, I capitulate because I can feel my energy is bleeding out now. I'm feeding. And that's not a healthy energy. What question shall I ask? I heard something about, what do I do when they turn away? What do I do when they won't listen? What do I do when they won't listen? What do I do when they won't listen? Okay, so they've just shown me if you imagine my heart chakra is there, around the top of the heart chakra, they showed me like this heavy kind of concrete feeling, a bit kind of nervous. So they're showing me that because when you feel that, if you feel that at the moment when they won't listen, that can be a trigger point. Let's get to the answer. So, what to do when they don't listen. I can't not go and see what card just fell on the floor. Right. Yeah. Well, firstly, don't waste any energy trying to make them listen. If they don't want to listen to you, fine. Are you listening to you? So the answer, who had this card the other day? Right, I'm going to talk about projection. Surrender. So in that moment, in that horrible moment when you're talking, you know you're in your truth and nobody's listening to you. That might present as this kind of aching in the heart. And my first question was, are you listening to you? Because sometimes when there's a feeling in us, because we're not being heard, that's in us, that's ours to own, right? So that becomes the trigger point. The trigger point is somewhere along my timeline, I didn't get listened to. And I swallowed the pain of that. I swallowed my true voice. I may even have adapted it, but I swallowed it and it's got trapped in there somewhere. And now here you are showing up in the world, not listening to me and re-triggering that event. And the advice is, heal it in that moment. In that moment, move, bring all of your awareness right into the point where it hurts. Centering breath and literally come face to face with it with love. I see you. I see you. And as soon as it gets met, it will dissipate or you'll feel it actually rise. Sometimes clients feel it rise up through the throat, third eye, out. So surrender to it and transmute the pain. And you will free yourself from that trigger of not being heard in the world. That's a lovely answer. Thank you. I'm going to pause this because I want to run around the table just for the hell of it and see what that card was. We're back in a minute. The card that fell on the floor. In that moment, if you're not being heard, to regain your balance, you surrender to the discomfort and you transmute the pain by meeting it systemically. All right? What else can I ask? I like these questions. Yeah. What else do we need to know about these shifting energies? Let's say for this week, taking us into July. What else do we need to know, please, for these shifting energies taking us into July? Yeah. Oh, wow, that's really interesting. It's like, so this is where we've been doing most of our work. We've been doing it with the higher mind, with our guides, with the dissolving of the paradigms in the system. And now we're coming to Earth with a little bit of thunder and a whole lot of lower world. All right. We are changing it in the physical, and it's going to feel some kind of way. I know some people are actually quite poorly with the changes that are going on in their body. I'm still on the involuntary detox that my body began 2 weeks ago, and I will stay on it because who am I to argue? Now, the other card that came out was this. The giveaway is the gift you offer to life. Do you offer your unique to life? Or do you wait for a better opportunity when it's safer and happier, when you've had a good night's sleep? Or do you just bring your unique? Just one bullet. The giveaway is the gift you offer to life. There's a lot of light in this card. Without attachment, without expecting anything back. Yeah, thank you. Right. So I'm being taken back to this sacred covenant. Oh, this is religious. This is the give to get. This is the saint or the sinner. This is, if you are a good Christian or a good Catholic or whatever, you do good deeds and God in his mercy will, and you can finish that sentence. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. That sets up a give to get paradigm. When we're giving from the heart, guess what? We are in joy and passion. We give from the heart because we can't not give from the heart because we're in our child and we're really happy. Energy is expanded and we're going all over the place and it doesn't matter. When we're giving because we should, it depletes the energy. It uses a personal resource rather than universal chi, Reiki. I'm getting passionate now. You can only give what is truly yours. Isn't that simple? You can only give what is truly yours. A smile, a nod of encouragement, a gentle touch, kind words. This is not giving to others what you no longer want, like the sweater that no longer fits, but gifting that which is most precious, your authentic love. Let me say your authenticity. Your authenticity. It goes on to talk about gratitude. But that's the essence, really, is to give away what makes you unique. Grab a pen and some paper. What makes me unique? What makes you unique? You might find it in the parts of you that got laughed at school, that got corrected by teachers, corrected by parents, was not tolerated because it flew in the face of convention. You'll find it in your wild. You'll find it in your belly. You'll find it in your passionate heart. Give. Give. If you want to be in service, there's so many people saying, I want to be in service to the world, but I don't know what to do. Let's be authentic. Give your authenticity to the world. Bring it. This is beautiful. I love this reading. Talk to me about the base chakra, please. Talk to me about the base chakra. There's that pneumatic drill. It's all broken open. That just got shattered. There's cards all over my very messy desk. I gotta show you this. Bear with me. I'm making a proper mess. That's another thing. Oh, look at you, you made a mess. How many times have you heard that said to a child? Or said that to your own children? Talk to me about the base chakra. I will not tolerate that behavior. I will no longer be a part. Completion. Oh, wow. Oh, I've got this urge in me to bang a big wooden door hard shut. Fantastic. 5. Change. Expansion, creativity, closing doors on bullshit contracts. Maybe I call the video Closing Doors on Bullshit Contracts. Base chakra. I'm telling you, your authenticity is squished right down there. Squished in your relationship to survival. Squished in your relationship to your own sexuality, to your expression, your passionate creative will. Relationship to the wild in you. It's hidden in the shadows. You've heard me say before 1,000 times, the gold is in the shadow. Oh, wow. Oh, that was big. This is ancestor sorrow. It's like they are willing us forward to do things in a new way. It's where they turned away from their connection to the land. It's where they didn't stay in their authenticity and their power. It's where they applied different values onto their children and their children's children. It's where they brought fear of their ancestors, fear of belief systems and demons and shadows. So do you remember the words I gave you a few minutes ago about ancestral shame? And there might be a prayer that you can write or come up with about, thank you for getting the family line this far. Thank you for getting us this far. I'm going to take things in a different direction. It's big karmic clearing. Oh, it's all coming through now. I feel sick. It's about the theft of their culture. It's about the death of the indigenous connection to the earth. It's about turning brown people white. It's about the Western civilization coming in to rape the earth, to rape that sacred connection to the earth, to rape authenticity and magic and power continually and repeatedly. And all the left-hand side of my body wants to vomit. Just the left-hand side of my body. It's the wounded feminine. And I can wail like a banshee. And it is literally the burning of forests. Christ, this is huge. Is this all in our base chakra? Wow. I want to say thank you to the ancestors for inviting me to see that, to be a part of that, for inviting this collective here to hold the field, for them to speak, and to assure them that we will do better. We'll bring the child back and make it my moral imperative to bring the child back. Just one bullet. Okay, are we wrapping this up now? Regeneration. What do you want to say about regeneration? Let me start. Something about regeneration. What would you like to say about regeneration? Still with the ancestors. I feel so emotional. I'm going to grab my rattle. I'm just going to pause this a minute, clear this energy. Right. Yeah, I just had to clear. That was ancestral grief that came through. Quite a big collective feel. I've got cards going all over the place here. Right. Oh, interesting card. If you had a magician's wand or a magician's sword, how would you use it? How would you use it? Can you imagine that? I don't want to go. What can we do? I want to play. Should we do some sacred rebels? All right. Let's get some guidance cards for just handling the energies of this week. Guidance, please, general, for the collective. Oh, wow. Thank you. General guidance for the collective. So, wow. There's a council of unseens that are grateful. It's yeah, absolutely. So when this card flew out, I just got this kind of explosion of the word gratitude. It kind of exploded. Just bring the light. Sorry, the weather's pants today. Are you ready to receive blessings? Will you know them when you see them? Can you count the blessings that are already in your life? Thank you. Lots of beautiful shadow work this week, I sense. Releasing the dark wound to let passion and joy back. Clearing, so we're just clearing the cupboards. Releasing allegiances. You are not my tribe. And I am not yours. Releasing allegiances. And this is what it takes, you know. And that might be how we can use the collective magician's sword to sever ties, to release allegiances that are not good, that take and don't give, where there isn't reciprocity that we keep telling ourselves that there is. And I want to come back to this, because this feels very much like blessings after the storm. And this could be quite a stormy week, but nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. You know, the energy in the last couple of weeks has been beautiful, high, lots of expansive energy, lots of galactic connections, people finding more of their family. Yeah. And I could just keep taking cards off the bottom of the deck, but they're all kind of saying the same thing now. This is reparation of the body, mind, spirit by coming into authenticity. I hope this reading has helped. It might not be for a big collective, but certainly, you know, because, well, I specialize in trauma and PTSD, so it tends to come my way. And it's what I'm good at because that's my experiential skill. So I hope you can take something useful from this. It is it's bridging from how I perceive my authenticity to I'm going to speak it in the world. I'm going to be it in the world. I'm going to apply what I can see. Okay. And bring the etheric into the physical and make it real. Okay. So go shock some people, go and create chaos, create a mess, break shit. I'll leave you with my love and my joy. I have enjoyed every minute of this. Thanks so much for being here. And please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.